far, but we're the men and women following freedom's trail, following where the truth leads, we will prevail.
To Truth TV, because that's where we are. Welcome to the reality TV that is the reality of your future if we are not only to survive, but to thrive and to grow powerful, wiser. I'm Rima Laibow, MD, and I am the Medical Director of the Natural Solutions Foundation. I am talking with a personal hero of mine, Father Godfrey Nzamujo, who is a man who carries within him the creative and dynamic and productive insanity.
So my idea is that if we keep on doing what we're doing, it's getting worse. It is only a crazy man that keeps doing what he's doing and expects a different result. So the whole world is gone crazy. So this thing shows us business as usual is no longer acceptable. We can't keep on doing what we're doing and expecting a good result. Second, now, the agricultural sector in the African economy is largely a subsistent sector that is presently characterized by inefficiency, high risk, low productivity, and very little diversification. This sector is non-attractive not only to the future entrepreneurs who are the youths, but also to investors. That is why a large number of our youths are now moving away from the rural communities to urban areas and other geopolitical. We are registering in this 3.6% rural exodus, which is, and with an accompanying urban decay. This is not urbanization, but slumization. I call it, in French, it's called bidonvillisation in French. In English, the closest word I can get is slumization. So it's really, we're getting worse, we're killing our people. When they live in slums, you have killed the whole initiative. They can't invent, they can't create. So this is the problem today. When they put like cages, like animals in a cage, they are no longer. The only thing they can do is create troubles and drugs. Now, but the drama of our time is that the potentials and opportunities, says like you're talking about in Chile, talking about in Peru, I'll call it this opportunities. How do you don't shoot them up? You don't poison them. We must do something else to give them a healthy living. Also the poverty level and also environment. These are the three major challenges. So you see now, Rima, my thesis here is that even though agriculture is poor today in the third world, in Africa and Latin America, it is what is keeping people alive. In the coffee, in Latin America, in Africa, cassava and rice. Even though it's limping, but it's still carrying Africa. Would have thought that people should have taken it seriously. Oh, this is the sector that is keeping people. We should invest in it to make it really strong enough to change the life instead of survival but thriving. Because this is the finality of things. People should thrive. They are survival. But these are the tripods. I call them the tripods. The conclusion, therefore, is that if we really want to make a difference, if we really want to tackle the triple challenge of demographic transition, that is what the people call explosion. People are increasing. How do we manage them? How do we manage poverty? How do we manage environmental degradation? The only solution is to do agriculture the right way, in a new, totally different one. It's going to create jobs, it's going to feed the people enough, because it's going to get enough food without degrading the environment, without killing the people what they eat. So it's really a comprehensive, integrated approach, not piecemeal, not killing the people and now bringing medicine to them. You poison people, you send them to the hospital. No, well, it's logical. Now, the last one now. A major problem, however, Rima, in this crisis, that it seems that all of us are saying that we agree the need of agriculture, especially sustainable agriculture. We need it for our survival. But yet, we do not see or fathom the risk we are running by not giving this agriculture the place it deserves. You know, everybody's talking about agriculture is important, but we don't really fathom the risk we are running by not acting now and doing a different type of agriculture that can solve, because it's getting late. We're killing ourselves, we're killing the environment. It's really crazy. So we must really take this serious. Now look at it. For agricultural growth to become a motor in socio-economic, see, agriculture is not a standalone, it is a motor in agriculture and the eradication of poverty. It requires the concomitant development of the secondary and tertiary. That is, you produce, you give it an industry, and also the marketing, as you're talking about today. So we're doing it, we must develop the marketing of it. We develop packaging of it so that it can, the food quality, the food safety, and that kind of thing. So it's really very, very important for us to do that. There must be, therefore, dynamic forward and backward linkage between agriculture and the other sectors. You talked about it. Agriculture is not a standalone thing. We're in it. It's all embedded. It's all of that. And man is at the center of it. Now, agriculture does not develop by itself, but requires a complex integrated system to support it, market its products, and provide inputs, credits, technology, and management. Like the technology I'm bringing out with the, with the nano silver and all those type of things you're developing. We need those technologies, but not the technologies that will kill us. This is I'm going to touch about that important, the place of technology, a new type of technology to drive this one here. An integrated development model that includes these services and linkages should be embraced. Rural growth or real growth will be very difficult to take off without these enabling and complementary services. We call a new habitat, a new, what do you call it? In French it's called aménagement. That is a new way of living. The word is escaping me now. I call it the habitat, a new a new surrounding, a new, the word in French comes from aménagement, settlement, a new settlement, exactly. A new settlement structure where agriculture is at the core of it. The industry is a core of it. I'm going to be bringing this new settlement structure, I call it green rural cities. There's a word, look at it, green rural cities. That's a new settlement structure that should be really a component of it. Okay, now this is it. Now you start with agriculture that is sustainable. Now you go to the industry, and then you go to the services you talked about, the marketing of it. The core of it is technology. This is really second. Now look at this, the green rural city. The first part on your left is primary production, crop, animal and fish all integrated. The waste is used to produce energy, different type of energy from biogas, from gasifier, and then from there we go to our industry where you see all the services. Now from there you go to the habitat, you go to all sort of things. So this is the new settlement structure. Now the next one. Now we're coming to the main point now. We call it a bipolar socio-economic development, bipolar. Now look at it. This is urban, this is green rural city. Now in the urban area you have the tertiary, more you have large market in that one. You see you have tertiary mainly in the urban area, or the services, current hotels, living, but all because it has a large market. But in the green rural cities, which is a new human settlement, you have the primary production, which is agriculture, and secondary, which is the industries, but also a medium to low market. So now in the world you have two kinds of this bipolar. So people are no longer flocking in the urban areas. They can move back and forth. Here, who says we must walk here and drive 3 hours to work, stay 2 hours in the traffic hold up? No, the new settlement structure now, you do your primary production there, you recycle everything, you use from the human waste, from that kind of thing to do it. In the same place, you process it there so that the waste are recycled into the same place. Yeah? You're not carrying water 2,000 miles away, spending environmental type of degradation. We call it short food chains. Green rural cities are examples of short food chains. Today, you produce in Holland, you sell it in Latin America, you are flying water up and down. This is not sustainable, but these are food short chains. So where you produce them, you create job there. You develop value system at each one of them. So there, you produce very well there. Then you process it, recycle it over there, and then you market it at the same thing. In the services here, you have clinic, you have communication, you have schools, so people know each other. Again, this idea of new human settlement, we call it millennium settlement, which is that we're now going to post-industrial settlement. What is killing us as an industrial settlement, which is big cities, and people the people are living, people are slaves to those industrialization. But now man is now at the center. The whole thing is to make him comfortable to live well. Remember, healthy aging, healthy living, and all that here. So this is what really we're doing about here. This is now. So now this is how it should look. You have big cities like Los Angeles, but also green rural cities all around. So you got a balanced one over there. So these are bigger rural, but also smaller ones. So it's a modular type of arrangement. You don't have industries here like unbelievable, people are smoking, all sort of things, smokes and all sort of things, but really traffic, heavy traffic hold up. I left this o'clock, 5 o'clock this morning to make it here. Only, it's just less than 1 hour, around 1 hour. But if in the traffic, I would have been take 3-4 hours here because of that one. So with that now, I could really go anywhere. Spend less energy, less time, less fuel to get myself. Now, what are the main drivers in this thing we're talking about, Rima? The first driver is very, very interesting. We call it a multifunctional agriculture that is sustainable, viable, and competitive. Now, this agriculture must be up to the following challenges to constitute a trigger element. 1. This agriculture must provide food in sufficient quantity to a population that is increasingly demanding in terms of quality and diversity, production that delivers sufficient quantities of safe, wholesome food item, not PHUD, wholesome self-food item that assist in disease prevention, healthy living, and healthy aging. This is the type of agriculture. This is the real market for agriculture. If agriculture can't respond to this market, then it is useless. So this is very important in what we're doing here. Second, this agriculture provides competitive inputs in industries. Second, this agriculture must provide feedstock for renewable energy supply. And another in this settlement is that most of the agricultural grounds of human habit are energy sinks. I don't know whether you understand what I mean. They take energy, they consume energy. But why can't we design a settlement that is energy source? By using our wastes from the plant, from the animals, we can create enough waste enough energy in any farm settlement and send the rest to others. So that's why I said all those agricultures should become, instead of energies, but should be energy sources. Fourth, this agriculture must provide environmental products and services, carbon sequestration, like your friends was pumping CO2 into the ground, carbon sequestration, agroforestry, biodiversity, native seeds, and germplasma medicinal plants. This is what we've neglected. Medicinal plants. Fourth, help to provide jobs and environmentally sound habitat. Ecotourism, that's the green rural cities. Second driver in this, sustainable and leapfrogging technologies, which we talked about. Given the high level of productivity, because that's our challenge now. Instead of killing people, we use technology to solve the population problem. That's what I said, given the high level of productivity required to kickstart this process because of the population growth. Technologies that only guarantee incremental growth will not be enough. Therefore, we need leapfrogging and sustainable technologies. So technology is an important element which already we're doing here. Technological development, therefore, has a major role to play in the African or Latin American agribusiness and social economy today. Techniques and processes now developed must help to create products and services that hold the potential to increase productivity, ensure nutritional quality, and eliminate waste and pollution in a dramatic way. So we're not looking at any type of technology just increase the productivity. We are looking for the technology that will help us achieve productivity because of the number, but also ensure nutritional quality and eliminate waste and pollution in a very dramatic way. So this is the driver, which not all technologies are welcome here. Only technologies that help us to achieve will be deployed and enhanced. The concept of sustainable development implies that we can increase our productivity while protecting and enhancing our environment. This is the definition of sustainable. Yes, we can increase our productivity, but thanks to the technology we're using, we can both increase our productivity, that's by volume, but also the quality and also the environment. So this is why this type of technology is needed to drive this. Not technology just volume, and kill us, but the technology can deliver the volume, the quality, the nutritional values, but also the environment. So therefore, we must deploy scientists that agree with this, must design new ways of doing them. These technologies will enable our agriculture to produce more with less. This is only possible within an integrated system of production where the principle of synergy, complementarity, supplementarity, and negative entropy are in play. It must be noted that this agriculture will no longer, I think you'll like this one, will no longer be primarily a chemical process like the conventional agriculture, but likely a biological process where our incredible environmental and biological capitals would be fully engaged and harnessed. This is very important. We have this incredible, I call them environmental capital. We are not even scratching. We must use science to unlock them and harness them. This is the only way. Biology is the way. If we open down biological capital, we have no scratching. We can feed ourselves qualitatively. We have therefore, now this is very important, we have therefore to relearn the way we practice agriculture, from the way we view the soil and its fertility to the way we maintain, nourish, and protect our plants and animals to the way we condition and market them. So this, I'm announcing a new paradigm in agriculture. It's a totally different one, not the old conventional one. Now, third driver, appropriate human resource is very important. It's very important. Because to do it, you need a new type of mentality, a new type of scientists, a new type of training. We don't have them. That is why I'm developing this EDL, that is entrepreneur development leaders. New scientists, that think differently. We must get that critical mass of new drivers to make it happen. People who have to do are piecemeal. They're not integrative. They are specialists in this, but are not getting them all together. So again, we need a critical mass of new thinkers, new doers to achieve this. Okay, I call it, this is one of the major challenges in integrated rural development. The absence of this core competence could adversely impact not just the implementation, but also the outcome of this. Therefore, we need multi-skilled human resource base is imperative. People multi-skilled, who will see the biology, the medical, the environmental, the kind of, this is the new animals we need. Not only the domain competence, but also this is really the type of things that we need to do. Social, again, the mentality. Social drive. We need the people working with. Their mentality, we work with those in Peru. For example, you're having difficulties. The people working with a new type of mentality. If it is the same thing, it's not just you and me. The people are working with to have to undergo that change too. Change elements too. Transformative. Now, other drivers are innovative source of financing, which are working on. Okay. Infrastructural development, roads and communication, and access to energy, especially modular and decentralized energy. So these are the 6 drivers that we really need. We've been talking on the drivers. You would have loved this to see the later on. Okay, now this is very, agriculture can become a weapon of mass construction. So if these drivers are effectively set into motion in our development programs, our agriculture would become a weapon of mass construction and the development of a broad-based and inclusive socio-economic growth that will effectively fight poverty and bring prosperity to people. This is it. This is really appropriate. Now, don't worry. This is, again, how everybody, multi-partnership, the government will do, the individual will do. This is going to give you an idea of how to create that source, okay? Now, what do you need to do? You need innovative institutions like you and me. To drive this in, you have to create the institutions. That's what you're doing with our law front. We must develop an institution that can deliver that one. Songhai is, look at it. Songhai Integrated Study is quite a unique one. It is not just your usual training, technology transfer, or production model. It is designed to radically tackle the triple challenge of food security, agriculture, poverty, and the difficult transition, demographic transition facing Africa today in the struggle. Now, this innovative institution has 4 components. Number 1, it is a technology park where new ideas and techniques are developed. This is what you are doing this one. So this innovative must be a technology park where we get all these ideas from. Secondly, it is an industrial park, not just ideas, translate them. Look at what I said here. It's an industrial park or production center where the techniques and ideas are turned into enterprises and many different types of, not just talking, we use those ideas to create things. People who waste the time, conferences, I call it general agreement on talk and talk, you know. I call it GATTing. No, this is really, the ideas, immediately you turn them. Look at it. So, it is an incubation center, training center, resource development, where number 1, that's technology park, number 2, become an effective space to incubate new competencies. So Songhai is where, not just producing, it gives you, is the technology park industry, but that creates a space where new competencies, functional, are created. Incubate new competencies, we call them the components of incubation space. Songhai is a mother farm, right. An extension space that produces functional individuals. So again, these are the, see, this is what we're doing over there. Now, last one. Songhai graduates are brought into a logical production because Songhai is a production, a research, and a service center. The teachers, animators, and managers are first of all producers and not talkers. The teachers are barefoot researchers who are continually searching for new ideas and techniques to improve their productivity and efficiency. The teachers are entrepreneurs. Songhai is a service center. The game is not over. After the initial formation period, services like marketing, input procurement, networking, financial loans, advisory services are provided to enable the young entrepreneurs to stand on their own. So this is what we want to implement. An innovative institution that has those 4 components can make a difference. Songhai core values are non-negotiable. The foundation of Songhai is its core value: knowledge, skill, and value system, culture of discipline, solidarity, integrity, and strong work ethics. This core value has to be appropriated by its leaders, managers, and the majority of the workforces. Zero emission research initiative, producing more with less. This is, now, you see the conventional agriculture, this is all waste into nature, smelling fertility. This is the way you do poultry. All this as a waste. Look at the sewage system, the can, at every stage of production you are wasting. It is a waste. But look at what Songhai is. There's no waste. The manures are turned into biogas kind of thing, all linked together. There's no waste. That's what they call it ZERI. Zero emission research initiative, total productivity. Nothing is waste. Waste does not exist. Waste is in our mind. Now look at it now, integrated. Crops, animals and that. Now look at agricultural production. We are producing chicken here, you see? and the chicken waste is flowing through here, creating the algae. The algae will provide the oxygen for the fish, and algae is the primary food for tilapia and other. So again, the chicken droppings not smelling is immediately harnessed. The algae is capturing the solar energy, sequestrating it, and the whole food chain is established from the waste. We call it waste to wealth. See, that's how conventional farms look, dirty, smelling. That's how we see it in this farm. But look at Songhai. Look at it. These plants are mining the nutrients that are dispersed instead of smelling. They have this root system, and we'll put some bacteria there. The bacteria will attack those things, break them down for the roots to come. They harvest the dispersed element, reconcentrate them with the solar energy, so we're getting the biochemical energy, every kind of thing, and then we are recapturing them again. So these plants are solar panels, more efficient. They are capturing the solar energy, capturing the carbon, and creating, and capturing that one. We're using, harnessing. Remember, I'm talking about the opportunities in Africa and in Latin America and the Southern Hemisphere is sun. You start capture them. Sun can provide 1 square meter, almost 1 kilowatt. If you can make it 8 hours, 1 square meter. These are solar panels, capturing them, but at the same time mining the dispersed element that should have been going into the air, reconcentrating them for use. This is that recycling, natural. We call it biological filtering. Then the water is now cleaned up. Look at it now. You see this from the chicken or pigs and kind of thing. These waters are and then sending them to the rice, filtered water. We produce rice 3 times a year from the west. Now look at from here, it's kitchen, everything, sewage system. I call it the Gaza Strip, the Gaza. And then over there, this is the Gaza. So everything is filtered here. And these are capturing all the energy, growing this biomass. We harvest 1/3 every week, it grows back. It's the fastest growing biomass in the world. Using waste, capturing them. So the water there is now clean. And we're raising fish there. And we harvest this one to make gas, to make compost, to make fertilizer. So again, this is what we do. Now we are fishing. Now, look at the water now. Look at what we have now. See, from dust filtering. This is the toilet. This water's purified in. This is the toilet, but doesn't smell because all these aquatic plants filter everything, and then the water is used for irrigation. Now, those we call them Chinese water green in the family of sweet potatoes. They're very sweet. We give them to the pigs. The following morning, the pigs will give us the manure, and the thing keeps on going. Then we chop them up to produce gas. The biogas, then use them to generate gas to electricity. We create rural energy. That's it. Rural electrification, all from waste to wealth. Now, let's look at the new agricultural system. All the wood are being chopped up. The wood now help us to create all the bacterial, the mycelium, all sort of things, the mushroom, fungus, every kind of thing. Look at what we've created this machine. Now, chopping up everything. Now, look at now. See, look at now, all this is now are providing the nutrients, and then all the bacteria, the mycelium are now increasing the capacity. Now look at the result of it. Look at that. Look at that. Are you seeing it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the productivity. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the carrots. Look at that. Okay. Look at that corn. You see that? Look at that. Look at how powerful that corn. Nothing but those ramia chipped wood that recreates the whole soil. Give it there. No chemical. Look at that. Look at the corn. See how healthy it is. Now look at the tomatoes. In the greenhouse. Look at that. Now look at this. Now this is where we put the insects against the aphids, against the white flies, and then they hatch, and then they attack the bad ones. And then when the bad ones finish, they go down to is a balance. We call it integrated pest management. Now look at it. Look at the quality of the tomatoes. Look at that. We don't use refrigeration. This can stay outside for weeks. Now look at this. See how clean this is. FOOD. Look at this. Look at the big carrots. Look at that now, producing them. Now, creating job. Women are now making carrot juice, carrot soup, carrot kind of thing, every kind of product. Now look at it. Look at that. Look at the pepper. Look at this. Look at that. See the cabbages? Look at the papaya. Look at the young people now. We have put them on this almost 50,000 acres of land. We train this. These are the young barefoot entrepreneurs. From colleges, we retrain them. They are now our new soldiers. Look at what they're doing. See, the new system. That water, recycled water, we're now using them from the animals, we're now using them to flood. Produce. Look at that. Look at the product. Thousands. Look at the rice. This is the new rice for Africa, Nerica. Look at that. Look at pineapple, all organic. Look at that. Strawberry, the new type of potato. Integrated, these are ladybirds. They are hatching and then they look for the bad guys. Integrated pest management. Now look at them. They're impeaching this guy here. They're impeaching them. They come and see them instead of the caterpillars attacking all the. They sense them from afar. They come and carry them. Sit. So we don't spoil anything. You see, they're looking for the bad guys. They're not hurting the plants. No, we're also putting them here. Now look at mushroom from the west. We create our own. These are oyster mushrooms. And the oyster mushroom is a fungi. When they finish now, that thing is now soft. It has broken down. We put it back into the field. So we are getting the mushroom, but also they are breaking down the cellulose. Also breaking it down. So this is very, very important. Now, beekeeping. Because the bee will provide the honey, but also the pollination and the wasp. So this is it, guys. And see now the young people now. This is the new site of Songhai now. You see how big it is? Look at that. Different type of vegetation. These are machines. These are designed. Now you've seen crop. Now let's see livestock. You see how they integrated. Now this is all the chicken dropping fall here. They are not sitting on them, so we can harvest. We are harvesting the chicken, but also the droppings are harvested. They are product. The waste from the chicken are product. We sell them to another department. So the agricultural people are selling them. So that's what we design. You see all the droppings here. Now these are the quails. I started here in California. 32 quail eggs in my briefcase. Today we are producing 1,500 eggs every day, organically. Quail eggs for vitamin E, pimples, all the health, asthma, all the food values of quails. Look at them. From my 32 quail eggs from California. Now this is all organic. They go there in the cage to develop their thing, and we send them back again. So they're walking around. So to discipline them about a week, 3 weeks in a cage. So they won't be playing around, they develop their chain, otherwise they get fat. Immediately they get that, we bring them back. So they'll be enjoying life. Look at the beautiful animals. They're not back. So they're healthy, they are not stressed out. When we put them in a cage for some time to discipline them, otherwise they'll be playing around getting fat and then look at that. Now look at that. See the diversification. Look at the turkeys here. The turkeys are working. Not of those, turkeys can live. These are native. 17 babies. Good. See the cows are playing. Now you see crop. You see livestock. Now you see fish are producing. This is why we hatch our own fish. Look at them. The great lakes. See, the fish when they're hungry, they move this one, the feed will drop, and they eat. Look at them there. See them coming up. Look at that. 9 months. See how big they are. Got them from Israel. Look at this cup. Only look at that. 12 months, 1.5 kilos. Natural food. Easy to test. Look at that. Now you've seen primary production. Now let's go to industry. You produce, the wealth is created. Instead of Africa exporting wealth, importing poverty, we reverse it. So now we produce, we give the values there. Industrial zone. All the metals thrown away, old cars, we melt them up to make parts. Then we design our own machines. You see, all this are processing, all the palm oil, all these things are done. Now we're not exporting them to other countries. Now look at the production. And this is all shelling machines, this is all our own. See the high level of productivity. Come on. Our own. Now look at creating tons and tons. Look at that. Then we are polishing our own rice. Look at our own. See, look at Songhai Laibow, Songhai Enugu. In every Songhai has Songhai Enugu, Songhai River, Songhai Enugu, could be Songhai Peru, Songhai any type of thing. Look at it. They carry with the pride, the labeling. That is there, the branding. You see, this is the machines now processing it. They're creating jobs. All the women that have no job, look at, they buy the fish from the young boys and they process them and they market them now. You see, everybody is getting jobs. This one now, the cashew nuts. Okay, see how the women have nothing before, they can now create their own. Look at that, they're now shipping them. They go to harvest and process the gari. This is a new type of cereal. Now this is a process. Now this is a new industrial zone. Look at it. Are you seeing it now? Is it clear? All stainless, stainless, nothing. International standard. Look at that. It's a new song there. 12,000 bottles an hour. All clean, designed by us, financed by us. Look at that. Can now produce soil, organic soil milk, pineapple, baobab. Pack of 6 weekend to watch football. 6-pack. These are all our drinks. Mango, dried mangoes. This is the mango concentrates. So these are the processing giving value. Now we are now shipping them, going to Europe. Now look at it in a container. That's how we make it. Sausages, smoked chicken. You saw this already. Now making scaro soap, aloe vera soap, all kind of things here. Now you see this also marketing it. Now we're marketing them. Our restaurants, there's a restaurants. Now also the transaction, we're getting from place to place, making sure the farmers, everybody, because we need to get organized. You don't leave these jokers runners. We are getting organized ourselves to have a really strong organization. Now, this is our old book. We bought them dead, we rebuilt the engine, we repainted them, and that's going. This is a new hotel. Look at that. Oh my. This is ecotourism. Look at it. This is a new place. Eco, we call it Green Rural Cities. Yes. Look at that. Look at how it looks like. We built and designed that. This is our own. Look at that. Look at the inside. Look at that. People are coming from all over the world to come and stay there. Look at how inside looks like. Look at the rooms. Have you seen it? Is it
no,
not
it's fine.
Much?
It's fine.
Look at how Songhai rivers. Look at that. See, this is a green rural city. Look at that. So you can sell this. Really. This is what is possible. People doing them. Look at that, where people come, concentrate. Look at this now. This is all we design and build them. Look at the Hausa communication. Now, world leaders visiting Songhai. This is the president of Burkina Faso and our president of Benin. This is the president of Equatorial Guinea. And this is the president of Nigeria. This is Ban Ki-moon. This was when he visited, he stayed there. He stayed in our hotel. Look at his assistant. This is Kofi Annan. Coming to inspire this Kofi Annan and his wife. I was teasing him. I said, look, when you were Secretary of State, you didn't come here. You're coming. He said, it's not too late. He's going to do something. Now, these are the governors. All of them coming now. Look at Eunice, Nobel Prize. They came there. Now, there's the many of us. So this is Songhai. You see, So this is what we're doing.
What you are doing
Yes.
is changing the world, building
We
a
must do
model.
it together now. Because, you know, what we're doing is still an oasis. We need to generalize it.
Yes.
That's why we come together. You see, if it stops here, we've not won.
Yes.
We must go
Yes.
now. That's why we must get together and spread it around. Generalize these small experiences. I call it the culture of success, but you have to generalize it. This is still exception. What you're doing is exception, but we have a duty to generalize
Exactly.
it, to make it spread.
Imagine if there were a network
Yes.
of Songhai principal food centers,
Yes.
health centers, residence centers, educational centers, living centers, because it's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. It's one reality,
Yeah.
which we've mistakenly broken into different.
We're putting them together.
We're putting them back together. So if there were living centers
Yes.
producing life in other centers,
Exactly.
buy what they export, buy what they trade,
Yes.
then can you imagine the impact that would have on the global condition?
Exactly. There's less carbon wasted. Like all these long food chains, you know, or what do you call them? Growing something here and going over there and wasting a lot of carbon. Look at that. We do not waste. All the thing, this rice cultivated, we plow it back there.
Let's talk about feeding people whose environment is so contaminated that even with these magnificent techniques, they can't feed themselves. For example, the people in the Northern Hemisphere who, through no fault of their own, are now living under the increasingly deadly cloud of Fukushima radiation, which will not stop and which will continue to get worse and worse and worse, second by second, regardless of whether people know it or not. So how do we feed them? What can the Southern Hemisphere do to sustain the Northern Hemisphere?
We see it very simple. The Southern Hemisphere has the possibility sets because they have the environmental capital. Environmental capital. But it needs some technological capital to harness those capitals, like using like the silver, nano silver, or sort of other technologies, can now increase the volume, but also the quality. So this is where the Southern Hemisphere comes in here. It has already a clean environment, has more virgin land, it has not been polluted. So this is a reservoir, food reservoir that still exists in Africa today. We can now harness them to take it, run with it today. So my answer is very, very simple, in the sense that we could feed the world that is starving, where the food is dirty, by looking into ourselves here, making sure that those foods are safe, protected, and finding a way of sharing them with our brothers in the Northern Hemisphere while waiting, because this is only a stopgap, because you cannot effectively. At the same time, what with science and others in the Northern Hemisphere, what can they do to lower that radiation, to lower it's a two-pronged thing. Otherwise, they cannot carry the same problem over in the South, and we're all finished. So the key point, therefore, remember we're talking about the driver as technology. When you bring this environmental capital of the South with clean technology, leapfrogging and clean technology from the South, from the North, that forms creates a multi-partnership. I would call it a joint venture. Then we increase our bandwidth. I'm going to use engineering terms. The Southern Hemisphere, this is their bandwidth. The Northern Hemisphere comes with this, their bandwidth, and joint, we're now over there.
Exactly.
So we can now go.
What I'd like to do.
Okay, Southern Hemisphere, they're bringing the environmental capital, like good land, water here. The Northern Hemisphere are bringing technology, and the logistic of marketing and all that comes
And
in.
a ready-made market.
Ready-made market.